Oh, snap. Man. Y'all can't even, nobody even.
That's why I texted you. I said, don't tell me you started laughing.
Unbelievable.
Start the stream.
Y'all gotta hit me up, man. All right. So I'm streaming now, man. Appreciate that. What you talking about? All right. Y'all gotta hit me up if I'm not doing, man. I'm sitting here talking, and nobody hit me up, man. Listen, man, we got 2 routers. We got 2 routers and a switch over here. Cable and label them up just like the last video. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time for you guys to catch up here, man. I'm sitting here and just talking. I did not hit the live button, y'all. What kind of rookie mistake is that? First this, and also I wasn't even monetizing my videos. I just realized last couple of my videos I wasn't even monetizing them, y'all. So I had the I had the intro playing for y'all. I had some jazz music and everything. Man, appreciate you, Patrick, for even calling me to let me know. Y'all gotta hit me up in the chat room and let me know that I'm not doing this. And I see y'all saying tax support. We don't even see any of that. Man, I have to give Patrick name. Man, we couldn't even see nothing. Have they changed the time in your country? It wasn't expected this too early. Man, y'all killing me, man. But I'm killing y'all too, because I was sitting here talking shit and didn't even realize I wasn't even streaming. So, I hope you guys are still tuned in here. Hold on. That's what I get. I get one of those, man. What kind of rookie mistake is that? Is there some kind of auto live stream that you guys know about? Because I'm sitting here talking shit and didn't even realize I'm not even streaming. But anyways, we got my man Patrick Canane in the building. For y'all that don't know, he is a CCIE and specializes in collaboration. We're going to do collaboration. Get it? How many times am I going to say that joke, right? Y'all know I do. I do most of the stuff in the CCNA topics because those are like the intro, and those are like they have. I guess they introduce all of the specializations in the CCNA exam, right? And then after that, you can take CCNP and then specialize after that, right? But there's only a little bit of collaboration. The closest thing I found in the exam topics is section 4.7, which is explaining per hop behavior, such as for quality of service, such as classification, marking, queuing, congesting, policing, and shaping. So that's probably the closest thing we can have, or that talks about any kind of collaboration or any kind of like phone stuff or stuff like that. And we're gonna bring in my man Patrick, who specializes in quality of service and things like that. So my bad for not clicking the live button on y'all. I gotta find out if there's a way to auto stream. But I'm sitting here streaming and didn't even realize I wasn't streaming. So we got my man Cole's Tech in the building. He has a YouTube channel as well. Y'all check him out. Anyways, page 174 in the book, Lab 40. If you guys don't know, this is where we get our labs from. It's a book called 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA version 4. You can copy this book from 101labs.net. It's authored by Paul Browning and Farai Tafa. Experts agree that we retain only 10% of what we read, but 90% of what we do. So that's why I love this book, because it gives us something to practice our stuff hands-on. So we do a lot of reading, because I know that's what you guys do, and then we need to put that theory into practice, and that's where that book comes in, and that's what I love about this book. So if you guys are using EVNG, GNS3, Packet Tracer, whatever floats your boat, if you can, go ahead and drag and drop 2 routers just like this here, and a switch, and cable them up just like this. I already got the IP addressing here. I usually do that live stream, but guess what? The NetworkBruh wasn't even recording while he was doing any of this. So I'm gonna let you guys get some time to catch up and stuff like that, and cable up your topology just like the way I have it here. So, and typically I start around around 8:10. Spend the first couple minutes to let people catch up and stuff like that. And let you guys get some time to cable it up. You guys got any question about static routes and stuff like that? Y'all remember what static routes are, right? As opposed to dynamic routes, right? Static routes is something that you manually configure on the router, right? And it's just like one way to get to a specific network, right? You guys remember what the administrative distance is for a static route? Now, this is as opposed to, and that's your pop quiz for today, right? Now, this is as opposed to a dynamic route, which is kind of like a GPS, right? And a GPS in a way, because they learn routes dynamically, right? If a route goes down, just like Google Maps, right? If there's a car crash on a specific road on I-95, well, guess what? It's going to tell you, hey, what? Look, there's a different way, a faster way to get somewhere, to get to your destination. You can go this way. Or there's too much traffic on that road. Go this way, right? And that's what dynamic routes do. They're kind of like GPS, whereas a static route is kind of like a red mark or line on a physical map. That's what the static route would be, right? As you can see, one of them is going to be better, right? The Google Maps one. But a static route is it's manually configured, and it has the lowest, well, it doesn't have the lowest administrative distance, but it's one of the lowest administrative distances that you can have on a router, right? Anybody remember what the administrative distance is for a static route? I like that Google Maps one. I appreciate that, Patrick. That's what I'm not going to take credit for that because I can't remember where I heard that from. But my way, I like explaining on my videos. What I will take credit for, though, is explaining networking. It's akin to roads and highways, right? When you're explaining networks, right? Because it's like you got all these networks and destinations, which would be considered your destinations, right? And you have all these different ways or routes to get somewhere, right? And that's what routes and routing does. So that's why I like to compare networking to roads and highways and stuff like that. And Plant-Based Brother was the first one that got it. Brendan was right after him. So yes, the administrative distance for a static route is 1, as opposed to, say, I don't know, EIGRP. The administrative distance is 90. The administrative distance for OSPF is 110. RIP is 120. EIGRP external is 170, I believe it is. The higher, it's usually a number from 0 to 255. The higher the administrative distance, the worse it is, right? The lower it is, the better it is. So, and the lowest administrative distance you can have is what? That's another pop quiz for y'all. I got all these pop quizzes for the day. I'm just giving you guys some time, and some people that, you know, that might tune into the stream a little late, and get you guys time to catch up. Because I was sitting here talking shit for about 5 to 10 minutes, and I didn't forget that, and I forgot to hit record until my man Patrick over there called me up and be like, hey, are you recording? I thought you said you live stream at 8. I'm like, yeah, bro, what you calling me on my stream for? Oh, snap. I forgot to hit record. So, y'all, let me know when y'all ready. Let's see here. No, not Patrick Mahomes. I am almost there, y'all. Almost there, y'all. I'll give it a couple of minutes. That's right, Plant-Based Brother. No, Brendan got it correct that time. Well, he got it correct, but he was the first one to write it down. So yes, 0 will be the lowest administrative distance, and that would be a connected route. So one that is, and it's usually like a physical cable that is connected to the other destination. You can't get any faster than that. So, for example, this topology right here, right? We got this physical cable right here. So from this network or from this router to that interface or that network, whatever we configure it to be, that will be the fastest way. And that's you can't get any faster or better than a connected route because it's physically connected to you, as opposed to one that was learned dynamically, like say EIGRP or BGP route. Ain't nothing better than the connected route. So let's go ahead and get started. And for y'all that don't know, oh my goodness, man, I'm sorry for forgetting to press record. I guess that's a gift. I guess that's kind of a gift and a curse, because some people that kind of tune in a little late, to give some time to catch up here. It's a quick, easy lab that we should be able to get done. But that is Patrick's YouTube channel. If y'all want to check him out, again, we're gonna do a collaboration pretty soon. So let's go ahead and get started. I know y'all tired of me talking shit over here. Let's go ahead and console in the router 2 and switch 1 right here. I already powered these bad boys on. Switch 1. And they said task 1 was to do the host names. Well, on GNS3, the host names are usually already done for you. So router 1 and router 2 is already done. However, switch 1, I believe, is just labeled as switch. So we need to fix him. We got 4 tasks here, right? And we're on task 1. We're going to wrap up task 1 right here. So we got to go to enable mode, global config mode, enable mode, and then global config mode. Let's do a no IP domain lookup so that way I don't do any domain lookups. Y'all know what that is, right? Because y'all know I always fudge it up and do some typos over here. My bad. Not domain lookup, just domain, not domain lame. Look up. All right. So we said we are going to change the host name to switch 1. All right. So now he switched 1. That's task 1. Task 2 was to configure switch 1 as a VTP server. So yes, this is similar to yesterday. We can verify that with show VTP status, right? And we can see out the box, Cisco devices, they're in VTP server mode. So we ain't got to worry about that right there, right? Configure VLAN 10, named static. Assign ports FA01 and FA02 to this VLAN. Well, in this case, we only have GI01 and GI02, and they want us to put those in VLAN 10. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to move this bad boy out the way. Y'all got any questions so far or anything like that? How about NetworkBruh? When are you going to like actually record on time? I record on time. I've been on time for these past couple of days. It's just today I forgot to press record. Like, what kind of rookie move is that, man? Let me put that over here so man, appreciate it. I always do logging sync on line 0 as well as pre-lab setup. That's a good idea too, plant-based brother. Let's go ahead and do that too. Let's go ahead and I guess line console just to appease plant-based brother with his features over there. He always be hitting me up with them features on the side sometimes. But we're going to do that for you, plant-based brother. Logging synchronous. That doesn't break our typing when we're like exiting. So when we do this right here and we're typing, it's not going to break our typing just like that. But we are going to create our VLAN, right? So VLAN 10. And we said we're going to name him, come on, man. What am I doing here? Static, all caps. Come on, man. Static, all caps, and we're going to verify our work, right? Because when we're done, we verify it. And once we're done with that, we verify it. And once we're done with that, we run a show command and verify it again. Show VLAN brief. And we can see we got VLAN 10 there. And we're going to put ports GI01 and GI02 into the VLAN 10 static, right? So we go back to global config mode, interface. And we're going to do an interface range so we can both at the same time. Y'all know about that command, right? If you don't, I got a video on that too. 0. It allows us to configure more than one port at a time. So it's real helpful. That way you ain't got to do it one at a time, right? So 1 through 2, just like that. We're going to hard code them as access ports as opposed to what? Trunk ports, right? Which carries all of our VLANs. And we're going to say switch port access VLAN 10, right? That puts those ports in VLAN. We're going to do show VLAN brief to verify our work, right? Verify. And then once you're done with that, verify it again. And guess what? My supervisor said that today too, right? He always be hitting me that. Once you're done, remember, you got to verify it. And guess what? He had me verify. We was merging 2 subnets on these switches in our network. And he had me go on each VLAN, plug up my PC to one of those ports and put a port in each of those VLANs and verify I was able to get an IP address on each one of those from DHCP. Yes, it was tedious work, but guess what? We had to verify it, and we was able to make sure we was get out to the internet, and it was good to go. It was a successful project. Of course, things may or may not go perfect. It didn't actually. We did it through a course of 2 days. Found a couple things. So that was task 2. We're halfway done here. We got 4 tasks, right? Task 3, configure IP addresses 172.27.31.2.1, which was that one, on FA00 on that guy, and then we're going to do that IP address on that interface on router 2. So we're going to go to router 1. Y'all know how to do that. If not, just follow along, right? So we're going to go to router 1, global config mode, interface FA00, right? And it was 172.27.32.1, and we said a /30 subnet, right? /30 is a cider notation. I know that one by heart. Y'all remember yesterday I got a little tripped up by some subnet, some funky subnet masks, right? Well, guess what? I'm ready for y'all today. I use my app, Practice Subnetting. No, this is not product placement. There's an app called Practice Subnetting on Android. and you download that and practice subnetting. I'll be at a green light, or I'll be at a, no, I ain't gonna do it at a green light. I'll be at a red light and just, you know, find out what the magic number for a specific subnet is, or find out what the first host at a specific subnet is. Or if I'm waiting online at Publix trying to get me a pub sub, I'll, you know, practice, do a little subnetting, right? Just to get that brain going again. Because yesterday, I remember I fudged up the what was it? The static route, because I didn't know the subnet, the network address for that specific subnet. I'm like, why is this not taken? Oh, duh, you got to put the network address, not the exact IP address, right? So /30 subnet is 255.255. Is the stream tripping, or is it just me? It was tripping a bit. You know, y'all know I got a shitty PC, laptop rather, and let's see, 255.255. /30 is 252, right? 252. And we could verify our work. That's what we need to do. But routers, remember, the interfaces show they are out the box. They are administratively down. So you got to turn them up, unlike a switch, which are already turned up. We can verify that with do show IP interface brief, right? And then you'll see they're administratively down, even though we give it an IP address like that, right? So let's go ahead and turn that bad boy on with no shut, right? How many times you collect? Y'all type this right here. I don't know how many times I did that. And no, it won't work. Now we do a show IP interface brief. And we'll see it is up. We got our IP address. We can verify our subnet mask. Notice the subnet mask don't show up on show IP interface brief. So yes, it's a popular show command, but it's not going to give you the subnet mask. So you got to do show interface and then FA00. Not FA00. Yes, FA00. What am I doing? You got to do. That's why. So, and then you'll see the subnet mask right there. There's other ways to do it too, but that's how I do it. And you will see, yes, I was correct with the subnet mask. So 2732.1/30. We got to go to router 2 and do the same thing and put that IP address, right? So global config mode, and then interface FA00. IP address is 172. And y'all remember, this is the easy part. I know some people are just like, I know how to configure IP addresses. Yes, I know. We're going to get, like, this is lab number 40 in the book. This book has 101 labs, right? It gets harder and harder. The difficulty in this lab, I believe, is a 5 out of 10. It gets harder and harder in this book, right? So we're going to have more complex topologies. We're going to be doing more than just configuring, IP addresses and static routes and stuff like that. Don't worry, we're going to get to the hard part. This is just some of the easy stuff. So as you guys are, just try to catch along on these streams right here while they're easy. I'm gonna need some of y'all help too. So there goes looking for the no shit, right? Exactly. I don't know how many times I typed that. So 32.2 255.255. So the same subnet mask. They ain't trying to trip us up there. 5.255.252. No shut on that bad boy. Show IP interface brief. It's up, and let's just do a show IP interface FA00 just to see our subnet mask. What's the best way to do? What's the best exclusion that we could do to get our subnet mask? Exclude or include. Let's just do 172, just like that. Okay, and that's it. So, and we see that the subnet mask is correct. 27.32. Okay, so we're good there. Anybody know another faster way to get that subnet mask quickly with a filter command rather than running all of that? So we did our VLAN. So that was task number 3. They also said, in addition, configure the loopback IP addresses or the loopback interfaces on router 1 with the IP addresses in the topology. Obviously, I can't show y'all in the book what it is, but if you want to follow along, just do that. But it's loopback 100, 101, 102, and y'all know I'm not gonna put too much from the book on the screen there because I can get a copyright strike, and YouTube not gonna get me again. Y'all not gonna get me again, YouTube. So go to router 1. We're gonna configure loopbacks 100, 101, and 102 with their respective IP addresses, right? So let's get out of this real quick. Interface loopback 100. Those turn up automatically as you see a log message right there, so we ain't got to worry about turning those up, right? IP address. Y'all with me so far? Anybody got any questions or anything? Cardi B up? What? I mean, that ain't no shortcut. What you talking about, Patrick? This man over here. I don't know what you mean by that. So the IP address is 100. 10. Don't let me make any mistakes, y'all. 10.100.1.1. The subnet mask is /24. Oh, so they ain't trying to trip it. They're not trying to trip us up with the IP addresses today. Not today. So yesterday they gave me some funky IP addresses. I had to do some subnetting. Now that I'm ready for them today, and I use my practice subnetting app, they ain't tripping us up. So they just put /24. Y'all know what these are, right? 255.255.0, right? And then they said interface loopback 101. His IP address, we should get a log message, right? 100. Not 100. 10. Come on, man. 10.100.1. No, not 100. 1.1.1. That's a lot of ones right there. 255. Come on, man. 5. Fat Finger Squad. .255.0. Right? Are with me so far? Yes, that looks correct. We're going to verify our work anyway, though, right? Because that's what we do around here. Loopback 102 on this guy. He should turn up automatically. IP address is 10.102.1.1. Subnet mask of /24. Y'all see how this book, man, yesterday they gave me /19 and /27, /29, and then I'm like, okay, oh, y'all got me today. Y'all got me with them funky subnet masks. I'm going to be ready for y'all tomorrow. And then today they gave us /24 subnets. I think Paul Browning's got a sense of humor over there. Like my man, let's see, Lab 40, page 147. That's correct. Probably a show run interface and an IP address. Yes, we could do it that way too. However, Patrick, that's a good way to do it. However, I try to refrain from using show run because that ain't gonna give you all the answers. I try to use the other show commands that are, specifically made to look up interfaces, not just what we, typed or whatever. So I try to stay away from show run because I've heard a lot in the community that's how you challenge yourself, by not using the show run. So you guys should try to make that a good habit as well. So show IP interface brief, and then we are going to exclude the unassigned interfaces, right? And then we get our interfaces just like that. They're all up. We said our loopback 101, or 100, 101, and 102. We said 10.100, 1.1, 10.101, 1.1, and 10.102, 1.1, right? And then that was task 3. So we're on our final task here. We're 75% complete, and we should wrap this up. Task number. Let's verify the subnet mask. I know they're correct, but let's do that anyway. Yeah, I like those better. Description Fat Finger Squad interface. I like that one, Gonzalo. We should do that for the description. But we got our physical interface just like that, right? So let's do this. I liked we know they're gonna be loopbacks, right? No, I don't want to do that. Let's do this. Let's do show interface loop and then include 10. Nah, it didn't like that one. Why it didn't even like that one? Show interface loopback, right? That's interesting. Why you couldn't do that? Show interface loopback, and then you can't do that. That's why he didn't like that. And you can't just do include 10 like that. You got to actually put the interface number. That's why. So what if we just did show interface include 10? Nah, that ain't good enough. That's too ambiguous. However, we could get it that way though. See, we still was able to get our subnet mask that way too. So I like that one. But notice it added all these other 10s and stuff like that. So if anybody got a faster way to filter that, to just look at the subnet mask, y'all let me know. And remember, I learned from you guys just like you guys learned from me. So this is synergy right here, right? We creating a learning environment. I don't know everything. So task 4 said to configure static routes, what we came to do, right? Via the next hop IP address. So what do they mean by that? So remember yesterday we did static routes going out of the exit interface, right? The syntax was IP route, and then the network you're trying to get to, it's subnet mask, and then the exiting interface. In our case, we had routes going from router 2 to router 1, and the exiting interface, there's only one interface there, so it was FA00. That was the physical interface that we were exiting out of to get to our destination. This time, they want the next hop address. In this case, this is a layer 2 device. There's no IP addressing it, so that's not our next hop. Our next hop address is most likely going to be this guy right here, FA00. So from router 2 to our loopbacks, which are configured on router 1, we're going to go from router 2 to router 1. The next hop address will be that guy right there, 172.27.32.1/30. Y'all with me? So we're going to go on router 2, and he said configure the static routes via the next hop of, and he even says it right there, on router 2 to all the subnets. So, yes, to all the subnets. So not the exact IP addresses. And remember, that's why I got tripped up yesterday trying to figure out the IP subnet 0 and no auto summary. No, we just needed to know the network address as the exiting interface. In my case, it's going, I'm not the exiting interface, but as the destination. In our case, we have to do that as the destination as well. So subnet, the network address. Y'all with me? Slow down, bro. Am I going too fast? My bad. Y'all putting it. Don't put it on. Don't put it on. Y'all know. I know y'all. Some people play their tutorials on fast. I don't know about y'all. Like if I play some people's tutorials, I'll play like Keith Barker or whatever, and I'll put it on speed just to get through the tutorials faster. But if I'm going too fast, y'all let me know. I'm sorry. I got confused on the wording of task 4. So all right, my bad, Brendan. Let me read that back to y'all. Task 4, configure static routes via the next hop IP address. So next hop, so from him to him, the next hop will be that guy right there. Via the next hop IP address of 172.27.32. Oh, he said 32.2. Interesting. So I'm glad you got me to read that, Brendan. Verify. So that is confusing. You're right. Configure static routes via the next hop IP address of 172.27.32.2 on router 2 to all the subnets configured on loopback addresses previously configured on router 1. That is confusing. I got confusing there too. So he said the next hop IP address is going to be that right there, which is pretty weird. That don't make no sense to me. I thought the next hop IP address would have been this guy right here. Because typically if you use the next hop IP address that's on the router itself, it's going to say, can't use that. It's on this router. So let's see what happens when we do that. So we're going to go to router 2 and configure the IP, the static route, right? So he said IP route. What's the destination we're trying to get to? So the first destination would be that first loopback, right? Not that guy. First loopback will be this guy right here. So that right there. But the network address, right? So it's /24. So the network address will be 10.101.0 will be the subnet, right? So we're going to say that what's the IP route, right? And then the network is this, but it's .0. The subnet mask was /24. So 255.255.255.0. How do you get there? So we have the question mark, context sensitive help, right? He said the forwarding router's address. That's also known as the next hop IP address, right? Is that correct? If I'm not mistaken. However, they said that via the next hop IP address of 172, unless this is a typo. So let's see. Let's put that anyway. They said next hop IP address of 172.27.32.2 is the next hop IP address. Let's see here. I think he wants you to specify the address in this lab rather than the interface. Yes. So, yeah, that's why I got confused. It should be IP of router 1, not router 2. It's 32.1. So, let me know, guys, is this a typo in the book? Or, it says next hop of router 2. Maybe change of to from. So, let's see. Configure static routes via the next. From, yes. So you're right, plant-based brother. That's correct. So either this is a typo or he just got his English. Oh, I ain't gonna say his English messed up, but his verbiage incorrect on task 4. So now let's put exactly what he said here, and it should give us an error here because the last lab was interface. This lab is using next hop address. I don't believe it's a typo. Right. So Pete, the next hop address. I'm glad we're doing this before I even try to do this. Let's have a discussion here. Is the next hop address 172.27.32.1/30 or is the next hop address 172.27.32.2, right? Because we're going from router 2 to the loopbacks on router 1. Which one is the next hop address? That or that? Let's have this discussion. Y'all saying it's not a typo. Before I even press enter, I want to see what y'all think. Cue my Jeopardy theme song here. Let's have this little discussion in the chat room. Brendan thinks it's a typo. Oh, you said you do think it's a typo. I thought you said you don't think it's a typo. Okay. So now I'm gonna put this as the next hop address, like they said, or that's what I'm reading, right? So you press that. We should theoretically get that error right there, which is what I thought right there. Invalid next hop address is this router. So the next hop address really should be that guy. So Paul Browning, if you're watching this video, I think you got to change the verbiage on task 4 in page 175. It says here, configure static routes via the next hop address of 172.27.32.2. So I don't think that's the next hop address. They really meant 32.1, which is exactly what Plant-Based Brothers said right there in the chat, right? So 32.1, that took it that time, right? So now we should theoretically have a route to that network, 100 or 10.100.1.0. So show IP routes, right? That's how we verify our work, right? Now we can see that we have an S, which lets us know that, if you check the legend there, it is a static route, right? We've manually configured, right? And then that is the network address, right? It's subnetted, right? We've got one subnet, right? And that subnet is /24, right? So this one right here lets us know the administrative distance, right? Which we've mentioned in the beginning of the video, which Brendan and everybody else got that correct. And 0 lets us know about our metric right there. That's almost kind of like mileage is how I like to explain the metric via 172.27.32.1. So basically you're saying this is where you get, this is where you're going, right? The network you're going to. This is how far it's going to take you to get there, or the administrative distance. And this is how you can get there, the way you can get there, if that makes any sense. So like this will be kind of like the city, how you get to LA. It takes you 1 mile to get to LA, right? And then you take I-95 or whatever to I-4 or whatever road to get there, if that makes any sense to you guys, right? So because it's saying via, right? That make any sense, you guys? Is there anybody any questions? Next hop router is router 1 via is local. You would think, but no. Local would have been if it was directly connected, right? So local would have been like if router 2 was right there. They would have had an L, just like where's that L at? You don't even have an L. It's a physical interface. So like FA00 would be, no, that's directly connected. What am I thinking? But anyways, metric are the hop counts. Oh yes, correct. It is the hop counts. It that depends on which routing protocol you're using. Which we're not using routing protocol. We're using static routes, right? So, but yes. So we can verify our work, right, by just putting that IP address, right? So, no, the loopback, that first loopback, because we're going to verify. So that's part of task 4 anyway. Verify your static route configuration. Ping each loopback interface. So in this case, that is the first loopback. We can go ahead and ping him. Pray to the network gods. And, oh, we got a duplex mismatch. We got to fix that. We should theoretically go through it anyway, though. Let's see. Go router 2. And ping, so we're gonna go from router 2 and ping that first loopback on router 1, right? Ping, boom, and we got a reply. So that first one worked. Let's go ahead and do the rest of our routes. So yeah, I think you can submit errata. Is that the word, Patrick? Because I know you're an author over there. If you guys don't know, Patrick is also a Cisco Press author, right? So if you want to submit errata, I think that's what you got to do. There might be an email address. I got to let him know, hey, you got to change that verbiage because I got confused right there, man. I had a feeling you were what you meant, but you know what happens when you assume, right? So we needed to do our second static route. So configure terminal IP. No, not router 2. I mean, not router 1. That guy right there. So configure terminal. We said IP route. The next route we are trying to get to is for this network. So 10.100.1.0. 101.1.0 network. We're not going to put .1, right? Because that is the interface. The subnet mask or the subnet that we're trying to get to is 1.0, right? And like I said, you guys, like, it's hard to explain that. You know, I'll do a whole tutorial on subnetting and stuff like that. And to explain all of that. Remember, yesterday I got fudged up because I was not on point with my subnetting. But today they gave us some easy subnets to work with, right? So .0, and then the subnet mask, which is 255.255.255.0, which is /24, right? And then the next hop address, which is the same thing right here, 172.27.32.1, right? Because we can't put, this is the next hop address. It's going to say, that's not the next hop address. That's this router. What are you doing, duh? And that was the error that it gave me right here. Where's that at? It was right here, right? On router 2? Yeah, this right here. Invalid next hop address. It's this router. Duh. Yeah, I like the way they put their little parentheses right there. So 172.27.32.1 is the next hop. We can verify our work with the do show IP route. Y'all with me so far? And you got any questions or anything like that? His solution is .1, so they put the right config in. Okay, perfect. So Pepperjack said, hey, enable 15 in the house. Oh yeah, true. So there's our second static route right there, right? 10.100 1.0. No, this is our second static route. It was 10.101. That's our second static route, right? Administrative distance is 1. Metric is 0. Via the same thing right there, right? So let's go ahead and put our next one as well. IP route, the next hop, the next network we're trying to get to is that right there, .0, right? So 102 or 10, 102, 1.0, not .1, right? Because we're trying to get to the network address that we need to put in there, right? So that's the network address, .0/24, which is 255.255.255.0. Anybody have any questions? We got a lot of smart people in the room. We got my man Kelvin in the building. Kelvin Tran, haven't seen you in a minute. We got Pepperjack, who's really smart. So if I'm not able to answer some questions, they will answer as well. So today we're working with static routes via the next hop address or via IP addresses. The next hop in this case again was 172.27.32.1. Don't let me make any mistakes, y'all. Let's do a show IP route to verify our work. Again, show IP routes. And there's our 3 static routes that we configured, right? Via the same IP. There's only one. It's really easy, right? So there's only one next hop right there because this guy doesn't have any kind of IP addressing. However, he does have some errors that we need to take a look at, right? We go to switch 1 and we got these duplex mismatches. That's going to be a little bonus. That's not in the book, but if y'all want to stick around, we'll go ahead and fix that as well. So let's go ahead and verify our work. We said we just needed to ping these 2 IP addresses and call it a night. So let's go ahead and ping that bad boy from router 2. So we're going to go from router 2 and ping the second loopback on router 1, just like that right there, right? Ping, pray to the network gods, and hope for 5 exclamation points. Bam, we got it, right? That's like what we like to see right there. And then we're going to ping the third loopback address, pray to the network gods, and 10.102, 1.1. Bam, we got our ping reply. So we good to go. That was the final task, task 4. And who else verified that for us? Yeah, Danny said that in the book they need to change. We need to submit errata to them, let them know that they need to kind of change that verbiage right there. So, in a setup like this, would you recommend also setting the IP default gateway? Pepperjack, I think you want to do IP default gateways more for layer 2 devices. In other words, it doesn't have IP routing set up. So, like, let's say this switch right here needed a gateway, right? And he didn't have no other way to get. He has routing turned off. If we do that, then we do IP default gateway. Boom. He don't have, and he just has a way to get out of his network. He's kind of a dumb device, but he knows to at least get out of his network. That's when we would use that command right there. Without knowing the context of this lab, he's doing not particularly. Well, Kelvin, you probably would have to rewind, but I think I see what he was trying to ask there. But IP default gateway is usually useful for devices that don't support. Yes, exactly. So Kelvin answered my question. Appreciate that, Kelvin. The only candidate in the switch in this topology. Yes, exactly. That's good info, though. I've been curious. Yep, IP default only affects local traffic. So exactly. So he answered my question. So let's. We pretty much done with this lab. Next time you guys want to follow along. If you don't, don't know what the topology looks like and what I got confused, what wording I got confused from and stuff like that, I got it from this book right here called 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA version 4. You need to copy this from 101labs.net. There's also a link in the description box below, and you can get a copy of the book from there. It's authored by Paul Browning for Itafa. The link below takes you to Amazon to get the book. So it's an affiliate link, and experts agree that we retain only 10% of what we read, but 90% of what we do. So guess what? I'm going to know that the next hop address is what you got to put when you're configuring static IP addresses via the IP address. See how I automatically knew that if I would have put this as the next hop address right there, I would have got that router. The router would have been yelling at me like, "It's this router, you dumbass. You can't put that as the next hop," right? Because, you can read theory all day with these official cert guys, but if you don't practice this stuff, if you're not hands-on with it, labbing every day like we do, you're not gonna run into that error right there. So this is why I preach hands-on, and this is why I love this book and stuff like that, and why I like labbing with you guys and stuff, man. Y'all make it really fun, and a lot of this stuff sticks to my head at least, and hopefully next time I'll click record on time. I don't even see that error anymore. I just wanted to make that point. But anyways, I just like the way the router's like, this router, you dumbass. You can't use that as the next hop. So anyways, we typically stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys want to, tune in next time. This week, I'm going to be labbing all weekend. I don't have my daughter and stuff like that. So guess what? She's on spring break. She's going to have she got family and stuff like that. So they're going to be having fun. Meanwhile, I'm just going to be labbing at home. So guess what? We're going to be doing some labbing on Thursday. We're going to do some labbing on Friday, so all weekend and stuff like that. So we're going to be labbing all through next week. So, tag along with me, guys. Don't forget the error in the switch. Yes, Danny, let's go ahead and do that. If you guys want to wrap it up and go ahead and finish studying, I don't want to, hold you guys up or whatever. Or if you want to, stick around for this little bonus troubleshooting we got to do here, y'all go ahead and do that. So switch 1, notice we've got this little duplex mismatch error right here, right? And this thing has been screaming at us for a good, maybe half this lab right here, through this live stream right here. It's like, hey man, we got a duplex mismatch discovered on gigabit 01, which is that guy right there. It's not half duplex. He also found that error on gig 02, which is that guy right there. So basically, remember what we said, if you guys don't know, if you haven't seen the past couple streams, because we ran into this error a couple times in these last labs, or these past couple video streams, the interfaces that you connect, they have to match their speed and duplex. This error is throwing at us right here, a duplex mismatch. So guess what? One is either half or full or auto, and the other one is either half full or auto. Well, I know for a fact that the router is this router is in half duplex, right? And we can verify that with what? We go to that interface right there, which is FA00 on router 2, right? And we'll see show interface FA00, and we'll see that that interface right there is in half duplex. Whereas if we go to that interface right there, gig 02 on switch 1, he already tells us, right? He already tells us about the error right there. On gig 02, he said right there, gig 02 is not half duplex. Okay. And that's what I like about these errors. Sometimes they're misleading. Sometimes they're, straight to the point and tell you what the exact problem is, right? Or sometimes these errors can be ambiguous, right? And they don't really tell you you got to figure it out, right? But this right here is pretty self-explanatory. It tells you that they found a duplex mismatch, and guess what? Gig 02 is not half duplex. We know that is half duplex, so we got to make that one half duplex, right? So let's go ahead and go to gig 02, make him full duplex. So enable global config mode interface gig 0/2, and we already done with the lab, y'all. We just doing a little bonus troubleshooting, and we were still able to ping across because that's not going to affect. It could affect traffic if you're like, like streaming or something like that, but it's not going to affect these little small ass ping packets that we doing right here, right? So we're going to do what I meant to do, not switch port. I meant to do duplex full. That should no, it's an auto negotiate. So it's already in full. It's already auto negotiating. So we need to go to the router. That guy right there, router 2, is in half duplex, as we discovered right there. We need to put it in full duplex, right? So go to global config mode interface FA00, and we're gonna say duplex full. That should fix his problem. We verify our work, right? Show interface FA00, and then we'll say include duplex, and we'll see right there it's in full duplex, right? We got to do the same thing on that guy right there on router 1, right? That should stop that error, right? So it stopped that first error, but we're still going to be getting that error on this side, on that link right there. Y'all with me so far? Put that suckers to auto negotiate. Yeah, we could do that too, or we could just full duplex. Also, you could do no logging console that turns off the logging debug errors. Yes, we could do that, but I like to keep the errors, so we wouldn't have discovered that unless we did a show logging. So I like to leave that error on, so that way the router kind of yells at you, or the switch yells at you when it finds something you don't like. So notice it's giving that, it's throwing up at us still here, right? So we're gonna go to router 1. Fix that problem on that side, but we're gonna appease Gonzalo over there. He wants it in auto negotiate. So let's go to router 1 and auto negotiate that bad boy, right? So we're gonna go to that interface and make them two match to auto, right? Could you do that? Yeah, I believe you could auto, right? Interface FA000, and we're gonna say duplex auto. No, how you do that? Isn't it duplex auto? You can't do that. You can only do full or half there. So this specific iOS does not support auto negotiation. You can either go in full mode or half mode. Interesting. Unless we put it as a switch port. I think that's why. I don't know. Sometimes it can be hard to fix those errors. It's constantly screaming though, I found. Yes, it could. What switch model are you running in GNS3? I am running the iOS LV2. So this bad boy right here. LV2. Version 15.2. So, good question there. Go back to the router. It doesn't look like I can auto negotiate on that bad boy. So I'm gonna just put him in full duplex and call it in the night, y'all. Full, my bad, not full duplex. I meant to put just duplex full. I guess you could do that too. I never knew you could do that. Yeah, you can do duplex full. What happens if you just put full duplex like that? That might fix the problem too. So notice we got that error right there, and it should theoretically stop. Negotiation auto on the router, I think. Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I meant to do. But I think I just did just full duplex. I didn't know about that command right there. And let's see if that works. Remember, this is just some bonus troubleshooting we're done. We already did the static routing, what we came to do. I'm just kind of playing with these duplex modes here. So it looks like you could do, on router 1, just full duplex like that, or you could do what I did on router 2 and put duplex full. So that's something new I learned right there. So duplex or full hyphen duplex like that. Go to switch 1 and did it stop? Nope, it did not stop the error. It did not. It did not. Did it? Or did it? Or did it not? Let's see. Stop. I don't think it stopped. Did it stop that error, you guys? I think it stopped that error. Discovered on gig 01. Yeah, it stopped that error. Let's do a show clock. Let's see. 0056, 0058. It's been 2 minutes since we've seen that error. So yes, and y'all know, since we know CDP messages are sent every 60 seconds, and since we know that 2 minutes has elapsed, right? 0058 and 0056, we know that error's it's not throwing up at us anymore, right? So that's one thing we know right there. So that's one thing I learned from you, not from you, I guess from you guys. I learned that you can either put full hyphen duplex, or you could put duplex full. So that's something else I learned. Let's go ahead and do what Gonzalo is saying. Duplex. I tried duplex auto, Johnny. I just tried that already on the router. I know you could do it on a switch, right? So let's go to gig 01, right? So interface gig. I think it depends on which platform or iOS you're using there. 0/1, right? And let's say it was, y'all said duplex auto, right? So on the router, I can do it. I mean, on the switch, I could do auto. So I could have done it there, but it's already set to auto on the switch. We go to router 1, that interface right there, FA00. I mean, either way, stop that error. But we go to router 1 and go to interface FA00. Let's get rid of that in full duplex, right? Know that, right? It's going to start throwing up at us right here again pretty soon. Once we send another CDP message, right? Yeah, I just know ASR I use on the SFP port needs auto negotiation auto to work. Could be iOS specific. Yes, I believe it's iOS specific or platform specific. So y'all see, and CDP messages go every 60 seconds, right? So we got to wait for that CDP, that 60-second for it to throw up at us again. Cue our Jeopardy theme song one more time. Right, because we put it in half duplex, right? We did no full duplex. So let's do a show run interface FA00 and see where he's at. He's in half duplex. And switch one, there goes that error again, right? So let's try, what did you say? Yeah, no. So you said you wanted to try duplex auto, which I think I already tried on the router. We know that full duplex will work. Full hyphen duplex. We know that duplex full will work. But you wanted duplex auto. Yeah, you can't do duplex auto on this router. Not on this specific iOS that I have on the router. And the iOS that I have on this router is right there, 12.4. So this is an old iOS. That's the reason why. I need to get a newer iOS. I know, guys. I'm sorry. I'm running this old ass version of iOS, and I think like the CCIE lab and CCNP lab, they're running version 15. So I need to catch up. I need to get to today's times, man, and get with the program in 2021 right now. So that's why he doesn't have auto on this guy, and yeah, we would have to force duplex. So we already know that full hyphen duplex work, which is what we did right there. And let's just do duplex full on that guy, duplex full. And then that should stop that error on switch 1. And I think I'm pretty much done with playing with the speed and duplex there. Let's go back to router 1 and just verify our work. Remember, we verify our work. And when you're done verifying it, verify it again. And once you're done, do a show command or a couple show commands to verify your work again. Show interface FA00, and then we'll just say include duplex. No, he ain't like that. He ain't like that. He did not like that. Show interface FA00. I guess he didn't like that. I thought you could do that. Whatever. Why not? Why not? Why not, bro? Oh, because I want to switch. Duh. Router 1. So this is what I want to verify. Show interface FA00 and then include the duplex. And there he is. He's running full duplex now. We already know the switch on gig 01 right there is running full duplex as well. And he is no longer throwing up at us with those CDP messages, right? I think that's pretty much done. Save the config. Know what, Pepper Jack? I like to leave it blank in case I want to run this lab again and just practice it. So I'm not going to save the config, but that's a good tip. You know what I also learned from my supervisor, who is a network architect, and he's been doing this for years. Whenever you're running stuff in production, like you are running or you're turning up some new configurations or whatever, do not save your configs. Believe it or not. And I was just like, why would you do that? And he's like for example, today we're doing stuff. We're merging 2 networks, right? We got these Nexus port channels. We got to set up. We're basically merging 2 networks, right? And on all of these devices, he did not save any of them configs. So whenever we want to revert back and we realize things don't work, guess what? All we got to do is reboot the router, and it's going to revert back to configs. So you ain't got to know IP this, know that, know this, know. You just got to reboot the router, and it's going to go back to where you had your starter configs. So you're back to square one without having to redo everything. And that's one of the, I guess that's something he does, and he's been doing for years in case he needs to roll back. So that's one thing you want to do. But yes, it is a good practice to save your configs, right? But that's what I learned at work from my trainer, and he says that's what he does whenever he needs to roll back his configs. So if y'all like what y'all see, man, we do this Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But guess what? We're gonna do it all weekend this week. Y'all run me with that like button. Hit me with some comments below if you want to see specific topics. Share these videos on your Instagram, TikTok, social media platforms, Twitter, whatever. Let them know that NetworkBruh makes this stuff fun, and I'm learning from you guys just like you guys are learning from me. This is a learning environment. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Any question that is not asked is actually a dumb question. You can use Cisco Prime. That I feel that though. Just reboot. Yeah. Surely save the config to TFTP. Yeah, of course. Yeah, we've got our configs backed up to like SolarWinds and stuff like that. TFTP servers and things like that. But you would have to pull those configs, put them on there, but it's better to just, like, if you don't save anything, reboot the router or reboot the devices that you made these configs on, and bam, you're back to square one. So again, comment if you like what you see, man. Just hit me with that like button, man. Please hit me with that like button so that way more viewers can join us and help us out, and we have more people to help us out, and it's a better learning environment for all of us. So comment, like, subscribe to the network.
Bruh.